something in the words that you say. There's something in the way that you
Q&A time, baby. Let's get all of the bread. So I asked you guys on my socials last week to give me questions about the album that I just put out called Nothing Something Everything. Almost forgot it there, but it's got 10 songs that I think are not shit. So go listen if you haven't. If you have, then here's some answers to questions about it. Right, let's get straight into it. Question 1, which song is your favourite? I don't know. Maybe I should have thought about these questions before I sat down and filmed this. I think it changes all the time. At the moment, I really love Something, and I love Loving You. I just think they're like nice, simple, I don't know, something about those songs really works for me. With this album, I really wanted it to be small and intimate and close, and be more about the lyrics, and I think those two songs have really strong lyrics. I think anyway, I don't know. Who am I to say? They might be trash to you, but I think they're good. Question 2, fave line from your song. I'm gonna assume you mean any song on the album. There are a few, I feel like in each song there's a lyric that I'm like, yes mate, you did that. But I think one of my favourites is in To Be Alone, in the first verse. But if it can start to fall, it can equally stop. There's a penny that's trying to drop. I don't know why, I just think it's satisfying. I don't know, I've had this conversation so many times in writing sessions. I don't know what makes a good lyric apart from just like naturally thinking that's pretty good. So I think that is a good one. Question 3, if you had to pick one line song that was the hardest to write, which track? I don't think any of them on the album were that difficult to write. There were a few that were unfinished. Something is one of them. I didn't have anything past the second chorus when we wrote the song. So the first demo just stops after chorus 2. So that was one where I had to go back and finish it. But then it wasn't that hard to finish. I feel like a good middle 8 should kind of fall pretty naturally out. And that was one where I just sat down and thought, what the heck am I gonna do here? And it fell out. So I don't know if there were really any hard songs to write. Terrible answer to a question about hard songs to write, but... Question 4, how are you feeling now that your second child is birthed? It was a good birth, easy, natural, no complications. No, I feel great. Albums are so funny. I mean, I've only put one album out before, but that was in the middle of like the end part of pandemic time. Can I say that anymore? The big P. So this second one was a different thing, but because I purposefully kept it really small, I didn't want to do anything big around it. I wanted to keep it all about the songs and the music without any, big show and dance about it. So it felt pretty similar in that I haven't been doing loads of stuff around it. But that's been really nice. I love that. I love taking away the pressure of a second album, because there is that thing of like, how do you follow up an album? And also my first album was like not huge, like it didn't blow any records out, but internally I was like, oh shit, a second album. So I think keeping it purposefully small took away a lot of that pressure, and it helped me have a good time with it. So I'm feeling good now that it's out, and I'm just happy and excited that you guys can hear it now. So, oh my God, I just smashed the phone. Question 5, did you not prepare a hand artwork for Without? I didn't. But there is one. It does exist, and it's on a Spotify canvas. Basically, the way that I was doing the singles, before it even became an album idea in my head, it was the first 2 songs, Stop Your Love and Good Company. And for those artworks, I thought it'd be really cool to go down the hand route. And then as it continued, I realized it was a good way to keep them all cohesive. I could just use different hands, blah, 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 blah. And I love the hand artworks. But when it came to the final song, I realized when I was posting about it on socials, I didn't necessarily need that artwork there because I was using the album artwork. So there wasn't really a need for it. And when it's out on Spotify and stuff, the album artwork is the artwork that goes on it. So there isn't an actual hand artwork for Without. But as I said, there is one on the Spotify canvas. It does exist. It's just like a hidden, I don't know, it's there, but maybe I should have done an actual one. Who knows? Question 6, do you think you've grown as an artist since your last album? If yes, how? Yeah, I do. I think it sounds so cheesy, man, but you're always evolving as an artist, or in anything creative, or anything in life, you're always a different person than you were at another point. Basic knowledge there. But in terms of this album and me as a musician, I definitely feel like I'm a better songwriter since. Not that I wasn't a good songwriter at all, but I just think I've learned a lot through, sessions since, all my friends that are musicians. There's always so much to learn as a musician, so I feel like I've taken that forward. And also as a producer, this is the first time I've produced something bigger than just like a single or an acoustic version of a song. A full project, 10 songs that I've produced and mixed myself. I'm really proud of myself for that. I don't want to scream too much about it, but that's something for me that a couple of years ago I just wouldn't have even tried to do. So the fact that I've done it and I think it's good, it might not be, but I think it is, that, I don't know, that's for me a testament that I've grown somewhat as a producer and as an artist. So yeah. Question 7, how did the idea for the new album come about? It kind of didn't for a bit. I didn't think I was going to do a second album this year. When I started, it was Stop Your Love and Good Company. Those were 2 singles that I produced up at the end of last year, ready for the beginning of this year. And I thought I was just going to do 2 songs, see how it goes. If they do all right, maybe I'll do some more. But as I was doing them, I kind of fell back in love with producing and doing my own thing and keeping it really small in my little bedroom studio. So I kind of carried on doing it. And it wasn't until I think track 5, Undone, that I thought this could be an album. There was a point where I thought it was going to be an EP. And then again, I just kind of kept going. And I thought, if I can do 10 songs, I don't want to do a massive big album, but 10 songs, nice and concise, then I think that's doable, and I might be able to actually do that and produce it and make it not sound shit. So at that point, I think it was whenever that was, May, June time of the year, I thought, let's do an album. And then it all kind of fell into place, and the sound of it was established through the singles, and then it just kept going. So I don't know, I didn't really come up with the idea, it just kind of fell into place, if that makes sense. Final question, because I don't want this video to be 10 billion hours long. Which song has a special place in your heart and why? I should really have thought about these questions before I turn this camera on. I think it's got to be Stop Your Love, just because it's the song that started this whole album. When I was deciding last year about what to do this year, that was the song that I kept coming back to, and it was a song that made me fall in love with producing again. I don't know, it set this whole thing off this year, and for that I'm very grateful for it. So Stop Your Love, yeah, track number 1. There we have it, a Q&A about the album. I hope that wasn't too boring. It might be really boring, I haven't edited it yet. Thank you so much for sending in your questions. If you haven't listened to the new album, please go and listen to it. It's called Nothing Something Everything. I'm really proud of it. I think you might like it. If you've made it this far in the video, you probably might like it, or you've already listened, in which case, thank you. You're the best person in the world ever. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're doing. It might be 1 minute to midnight, in which case, enjoy that minute.